it's Shivaun McCloud again, and I'm sitting here with David Yurovchak. And I just want to kind of go through the process for home buying because it seems very daunting to people. Many people have purchased homes, but usually it's not something that we do every day. And it usually is something that we look at with a certain form of hesitation. So the first thing that it takes is that you make the phone call. When you're thinking about, I'm tired of paying rent, this is not really benefiting me, you know, the American dream, my personal dream for my family is for us to own our own home. The first thing I would encourage you to do is give me a call. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it is that you want. Let's talk about your needs. Let's talk about how you see your future. Are you looking towards retirement? Do you have young kids? Do you have older kids? Let's talk about what it is that's important to you. And when we decide that this is something that you definitely want to do, then we can definitely link you up with some wonderful professionals such as David and his team at Guild Mortgage. And once we do this soft handoff to you at David, then they start to ask you the same types of questions, but with a different emphasis, and I'll let him go into that.
Yeah, no, we try to make it really easy and keep it really light, and not everybody has to be with their hair on fire, that they have to do it tomorrow. So we're very laid back, but very detailed, if that makes any sense. So we'll ask the right questions and try to figure out what your goals are, and specifically trying to figure out timing. Okay, so that is the first part of it. We don't just start with the interrogation and put the hot light on you and make you sweat and have to give all your stuff, and then we dissect it and make you feel weird. So we don't want to do any of that. Nobody wants to feel that way, and nobody that is buying a house should ever feel that way. So when we have that conversation, there's some basic stuff that we do got to have filled out. Eventually we do pull a credit report. Some people are a little nervous on the credit, and so if that is the case, then we do have the ability to do what's called a soft credit pull, where it's not actually a hard inquiry, but it does give my team and I access to be able to see kind of what's on there and see if there's any pitfalls that we might have or something on there that you might not even know about, and we can kind of go through that step by step just to make sure that we're on the same page. And there's different programs that we might need a specific score for. So you can go down to like a 600 score and still qualify. You might need a 680 for a different other program. So don't feel like if you're looking at a Credit Karma or a Discover credit card or whatever your bank is that's monitoring your credit, that might be a good starting point on the backside, which you still want to try to look at as well, but it's not 100% accurate. So if you come to somebody like myself, we can do that in advance, and that's kind of where we like to start. Once we do pull an actual credit report, it's only valid for 90 days, so but that's 3 months.
Yeah.
So that gives you a lot of time. And then also too, if for some reason somebody might think they're a little credit challenged, or we know that they need to get a little bit higher, then there's ways that my team and I, we have credit simulators, we have all different kinds of experience with the years that we've been doing this, that we can say, hey, you got to pay this credit card down $100, you got to pay this collection off, you're 3 months away because of something that happened in the past. We can set that expectation and have goals and give you a roadmap, and that's kind of what Shivaun is really good at, is giving you that plan. And obviously it's up to you to follow the plan, but we want to give you the roadmap that's realistic and it's easy to follow, and then we follow you at the pace of how fast you want to go. Okay, so that's the same thing on my end. People are like, oh, I want to get pre-approved. Now, how fast does it take? And I'm like, well, it depends on you, and if you can get the information to us, give us 24 to 48 hours. We can get it broken down really fast within detail and have it logically make sense to where we figure out kind of what you can qualify for, but we also figure out what you're comfortable with. So that's always an open dialogue. Shivaun had talked about this in a previous segment, is that everybody wants to get in, but they don't necessarily know how. So again, that conversation is going to be very critical. It's not long, and it's a free consultation. And then eventually, once we get all that in line, then we have the ability to give what's called a pre-approval letter. So a pre-approval letter is a good thing. There are some lenders out there, and I won't name names, is they will just give you a piece of paper without asking any questions, and then they'll just kind of take your word for it, and then it does set everybody up for failure, which is kind of scary. So we want to make sure that what we tell people is real, and we want to give people very quick basic math, so that way when they do go out with Shivaun and see a house that's $300,000, or they see one that's $310,000, that they know the difference between those two is only $50. And that doesn't mean go crazy high, because that can happen in a heartbeat.
Yes.
But it does give you very good information. That way we say knowledge is power. And that also in our market, and this isn't to scare you as well, but we got to move a little quicker when you do get out with Shivaun, and we want you to be in the know of, again, if we go from 300 to 320, for example, that's going to be about a $100 difference. And then we already know that you qualify for 400. That gives you a lot of wiggle room and, again, a lot more power. And then you and Shivaun can have that conversation to say, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is going to fit our goals and our dreams.
Absolutely. And just echoing what David said, that was exactly the experience for my husband and myself. We're not sure. I mean, literally, I had and still have a bankruptcy on my credit from 2018 and was still able to close escrow 2 years later. And David and his team were not aggressive or overwhelming in terms of those things. And I think that has been my experience as well as several other people's experience, where you're being sold a used car and being rushed into situations that you already don't feel super secure in. So being able to get into an environment and have your questions answered and have all of the things taken into consideration, I think the biggest piece is what you can afford and what is comfortable, because you can get an Amex Black Card and have the sky's the limit, but you might not be able to live with that for 30 years or even several months. So getting the pre-approval is absolutely wonderful, because then it's time to go shopping. That's when you come back to me and we start talking about what it is that you want. What do you have to have in your home? And what is it that you'd like to have? And let's take a look at that. Let's see what's available. Let's put some offers out there and take some time. At this time, there are plenty of homes that are open, and we have a lot of real estate activity that's going on right now, and it's an ideal time for us to get in and for you to be able to take a look at what's going on in the booming economy. Not only do we have plenty of existing homes that are here and up for sale, but we also have still a very large market for brand new homes and builders and developers that are here in Las Vegas. Once you are able to put in your bid and your offer, and it is accepted, then we will take the time to go in and do our due diligence. Is this house exactly what you perceive it to be? Is there any additional work that needs to happen? Can you live with this kitchen, with the sink being right here? Do you need something additional to this? Is it a solid house that is worth the money? And that comes with the appraisal as well. And all of these things are done for you. You do not have to be an expert at doing construction or a handyman around your house. All of these things are taken care of, and part of our team here at High Realty Group is making sure that you have reliable and consistent and professional people that can help you make these decisions and decide if this is truly the house that you want. And as we move closer to the close of escrow, we work closely with your lender, hopefully Guild Mortgage, and David's team, and making this as painless as possible. You know, it is a stressful situation at times, but when you have all the knowledge and you have reliable, professional, and knowledgeable people around you, it is a very pleasurable experience. And being able to have those keys being handed to you on the day that you close escrow is an overwhelming feeling of accomplishment and pride. And I think that everybody should have that opportunity. And in working with our team and with David's team and closely with you, I think that we can make sure that this is a possibility for everyone. Thank you.
Bye.